Today, we're going to talk about mistakes that early or first-time investors make. Hi, guys. Thank you so much for joining me again today. Let's talk about some mistakes that either early investors or first-time investors, not stock investors, but investors in businesses and startups, the mistakes that they make. Now, these mistakes aren't always unique to early investors or new investors. As a matter of fact, I've seen very experienced investors make a lot of these same mistakes, but I want to run you through some of the ones that I want you to focus on, particularly if you're new to investing in startups. I was at lunch today with a good friend of mine, Justin Goodbread. Hey, Justin, over at financiallysimple.com. And Justin and I were talking about how people seem to want to veer outside of their lane sometimes and get into things because they're trendy and hot. And investing in startups is one of those things. You know, there's all kinds of media shows that show experienced investors getting into that game. The SEC has relaxed the regulations around investing in startups. And so more and more people who, frankly, a lot of them aren't very experienced in business or investing in the first place at all, let alone investing in startups, have gotten intrigued with this idea of putting money into startups. There's even books written by really famous investors like Jason Calacanis. It's a really great book, and he runs you through ways in which you can get started in angel investing. And while it's a really good idea, and Jason talks about some of these things, there's some traps that I want people to avoid if they get into it. Now, the first mistake I see new investors making is they try and invest dollars that aren't discretionary. When you're investing in a startup, granted, the average return for angel investors is pretty high, but that's typically experienced investors. When you're doing this type of investing, if you decide to do it, even if it's in something as simple as a crowd-funded campaign through Kickstarter or something like that, where it's minimal dollars invested, I want you to only invest dollars that you are willing to basically light on fire and throw away, because that could be what you're doing as you make some of these mistakes. So the first mistake I see is investors investing more than they can really afford to invest, because they get caught up in the second mistake, which is buying into the idea that this startup is going to make them wildly rich because it's a brilliant idea. So the first mistake is investing dollars that you can't afford to lose in the first place. The second mistake I see early or new investors make in startups and businesses is they just buy into the hype of an idea, right? They don't do their own due diligence. This all kind of goes together in one big mistake. They see a pitch, they get excited about it because they think it's brilliant. They don't do their own due diligence. They don't do well thought out or well planned research. And so they invest in a startup because, well, they're just super excited and they think the idea is brilliant. I can't tell you the number of times I've had people tell me that their startup idea is a first of its kind, to only turn around and go to Google, type in certain keywords, and show up with about 15 or 20 or more competitors already in their space. Happens all the time. Now, if you listened to my channel before, you know that there's nothing wrong with competition. That means there's demand. But new investors tend to invest in ideas because of the idea itself without any merit and without any research to back it. The third mistake new investors make is they tend to invest in areas that they don't have any experience in. So I spent most of my career in one of two places, either in marketing or finance. And so as an investor, I like to put money into those categories. Does that mean that I don't look at other investment opportunities in other industries? No, but if I do and I don't have any experience in those industries, I make sure to talk to other people to get their opinion of the industry, what challenges I'm not aware of, and I even have them look up at the startup that I'm looking into. So that another mistake that early investors make is they don't focus on industries where they have expertise so that they really understand the opportunity in front of them. Now, folks, that's just three mistakes that I see new investors make. They're all very dangerous. And the short of the message is really this: if you are new to being an investor, there's nothing wrong with you having interest in investing your discretionary dollars in businesses or ideas. Keep in mind, when you're investing small amounts through Kickstarter, your real return is not going to be a whole lot, but that could be a great place to start, just to get a sense for how to get started in investing in deals. What I really recommend to people who want to become angel investors for the first time is treat it like I suggest when you start investing in the stock market in the first time. Don't just pick a company, pick a stock to invest in. Do your due diligence, do your research, even write that research out, write out why you're picking this company, what you think about the team, the analysis you've done of the idea, the analysis of competition. Essentially write out a full research report on why you want to invest in this company and this idea. And then if something does go south, or even if it goes really well, you can refer back to that and say, what did I miss? What did I do a good job of catching? And if there are risks associated with those things in that report, how can I mitigate those? Maybe by only investing a certain amount or some other mitigating strategies. So really the key is, as an early and new investor, take your time. Don't just get into startup investing because it's exciting and a lot of other people talk about doing it. Don't buy into the hype. Do your own research. Do your own research and have a well thought out plan for how you might get out of that investment. If you can, take your time, do the right thing, and only use money that you can afford to lose. Hope that helps. Have a great day. See you later.